Hey Nick, guess
Yeah?
what game it is?
What game is it?
Nioh.
Oh. Ow.
Nioh.
Ow.
Nioh.
Ow.
Oh.
Me. Me-chan.
What did Nioh want in his ice cream?
Neapolitan.
So this is Nioh, and apparently we just learned that this game was even harder in the alpha, and I guess they dumbed down the levels and kept hard bosses from what we've read, and it's like one of the easier games in the Dark Souls kind of subgenre.
Oh yeah, I mean,
apparently.
an easier Souls-like. It definitely does feel pretty easy for me.
It feels like The Witcher going around murdering people in dungeons so far.
Yeah.
I mean, we barely scratched the surface of this game. I mean, if it's one of those games that you can be playing in the dungeon and kill a lot of white people and still feel like, what the hell did I accomplish?
Yeah.
I felt like we barely got anywhere in this game, but we spent an hour playing it.
And it feels like you have been playing an hour. Jim has been saying like, sometimes you don't feel like you're actually playing the game, or like you're.
I just feel like because it's such an enclosed game, it doesn't feel like you're progressing, and like that causes you not to see the passage of time so much, because you don't have like a memory of like all this time, like sort of time points.
In my case, it feels like I have been making progress.
Yeah.
If I'm not going around discovering new areas, I'm discovering new gear that I can equip onto my character.
What we were grabbing, like I think there was one area, like a really small room, and like they left a pouch on the ground and like an apple or something, like a few different things that like, it's like, where did all this loot come from? And it's kind of funny because like when you're like, there was one character we fought and he was like making noises, there were grunt sounds and everything, like 2 meters away from the man, just standing still, holding
A
his
lantern.
and he didn't move at all.
That wasn't like the first time that actually happened. Okay, get this. Okay, so I encountered one guy, fought him within earshot of another guy, within earshot of another guy. So
Everyone's deaf in this.
So basically, I went, killed one guy, went over, killed the other guy, and before the other guy has any idea what's going on, he's dead too.
Yeah. I feel like this is a good game to start with.
Oh
Dark
yes,
Souls.
definitely.
I found like it was easier, like I started a game in Bloodborne a long time ago and I just couldn't get into it. I don't know, even though it looked like Castlevania meets Dark Souls, but I found this was a lot easier to get into. Just, you know, it eases you into the game, it gives you a reason to plot points to get you like sucked into the story.
Yeah, there's a pretty interesting lore to go around with this.
I think it's like an $80 game. Definitely looks like a
AAA game.
AAA game or 4A game. But like even the laptop can't handle it. Like it cannot run it on max. It looks amazing on max, but
it just looks pretty slow once you have it on a.
It's because it's a Tecmo game, I believe, and yeah, they're notorious for maxing every last, gasp out of your processor. I'd say it's fun. Like I enjoyed it more than, say, like a Dark Souls game. I have played Dark Souls and I couldn't get into it myself, but I found I could get into this.
And from there, if you're really interested in this kind of game, you can go into Dark Souls or even Ninja Gaiden.
I just feel like we didn't get to a boss, but I feel like Ninja Gaiden was like more arcade. This is kind of more arcade than Dark Souls. I feel like Dark Souls, like you really have to strategize and yeah.
But I feel like this is a pretty good entry level.
I feel like this gets you started, but I don't think like you would get far in Dark Souls if you like only had this game as your first experience.
I give this a 9 out of 10. It's a pretty fun game. There is one flaw I kind of have. It's that unless you know where you're going, or at the very least have a good idea of where exactly you need to go, you can get lost pretty quickly.
Yeah, I was getting lost, to be perfectly honest. Like, I was getting lost, but then the fact that we didn't have a fluid like frame rate for the walking didn't help too. It feels like I was even reading like it's one of those games that you get better the more you play. Like, not every game's like that. Like, some games you start playing, you get a little bit better, but like I feel like this is like really a skill-based game where as you progress, you know,
you'll need to get good, and
you'll be able to dodge.
But that's basically But that's basically the gist of all Dark Souls games, or like all Souls-like games.
Yeah. I really feel like it's not like Ninja Gaiden where some of the games are sort of like arcade-like, the 3D ones, but like I remember playing like the first Ninja Gaiden, and I remember like, okay, this is for like the really hardcore. And then when I went to number 2, and I think I played 3 as well, I feel like they made it more arcade-based and mainstreamed it. That's what I was meaning. Like, yeah, sometimes sequels it gets diluted along the way, where it's more like an arcade game, and kind of like Devil May Cry 2, I guess.
Yeah, I guess because sequels, what they do is they basically get a better idea of what kind of game they want to make, and thus there's a lot of quality of life changes in between sequels. That's why some games are like the first games are always really hard to understand, but then the sequels come along and they introduce like new, easier modes to go to.
Yeah, or a different way of playing it. So yeah, I say check it out. It's a unique experience.
What would you rate this
on
game?
Steam. As I said, I'm not really a Dark Souls fan. I think like for the polish, I would definitely give it a 9 or a 10 out of polish, just from the presentation and everything.
Oh yeah, I forgot it. We can do 10. 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I know you like that. I'd give it probably a 7.5, 8.5. Like, as a game, it's interesting. I can see myself like spending a long time like walking around, kind of getting lost. I'm not sure if it's like that the rest of the game, so I don't know. Maybe I would like it more as I played it, but it seems pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm just, as I said, like I have to admit, I'm not a huge Dark Souls fan in general, so.
And I'm mostly into trying new games and all that, so match made in heaven for me, I guess.
Okay, well.
Keep on Dark Soulsing, I guess.
Exactly. Keep on gaming. Bye.